Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A. and gosh, it's been a long month. May has been an incredibly busy month for me and probably many other people. But one thing, I was transferred to a very busy, larger office, and I have more hours, and it was just, learning. It was almost like learning a new job, even though it was a similar job in a new place. So I was not able to upload this month, and I'm so sorry about that. Gosh. Anyway, my name's Kathy A. and welcome for sure. It's good to see you here. Hope you're all doing well. My heart goes out to a lot of you who have been victims of the terrible storms and tornadoes that have struck the U.S. And not just the political ones, but like the actual ones. My goodness. Alright, so let's start this out with all my faves and flops. These are makeup items mostly, but I do have a couple of household type items. I want to start with ice cream. Not so much the ice cream, but these are scoopers. And they come in a set of 2, and they're like $1 at the Target store. Kind of cute idea, and I thought, oh, this is great. You take your scoop, and you actually can scoop the ice cream with the scooper and get yourself a nice little ice cream cone. And you're eating your ice cream cone, and then you get down to this part, and it's like you're kind of like a greyhound dog looking at the water jar, because this doesn't budge, and there's a lot of ice cream in this little, so you can't get it out. So it's kind of like a design fail here. I love the idea of this. You could use them over and over. You don't have to use the the real ice cream cones for those extra calories, and it's kind of like fun carrying it around and eating it this way. But you can't get to that last inch of ice cream. And you can pile a lot up here and then you're done, but what are you going to do with this? I mean, really, it's hard to get in there. I just thought I'd mention that because it seemed like such a great idea, but very poor in its execution. For the tub, I wanted to bring this one up because I saw somebody talking about this, and I used to use a puff, one of those puffs made out of the nylon stuff that's all fluffy, and you put your bath stuff on there and you scrub with that. This is kind of a cross between a washcloth and one of those scrubby things, because it's a similar material. It's a little bit gritty, and you put your soap on there and you get it all nice, and then you can actually work on scrubbing your back, scrubbing your legs, scrubbing your feet, scrubbing places that you can't reach normally. And then this rinses out so nicely, and you can put it in the wash. And I think this is such a better idea than using a puff. The puffs they can hold bacteria. They never really truly dry. You can never really get all the soap and everything out of them. But this you can, and I think it's great. And I got this one at the Dollar Tree of all places for $1.25, and it comes in different colors. But I think it's a great alternative to those puffies, those nylon puffies. Big disappointment. Naturum. I had bought this because a lot of people talked about the Naturum lip balm oil things as being really good for a nice thick overnight mask for lip repair, things like that. It is so thick I cannot hardly get it out of the container. I had to cut off the top of it in order to get it. It's very thick and gloppy. Honestly, it was one of the thickest, worst packaging things I've ever had to deal with. I don't know if you have this Naturum. It is the lip balm, but if you do, how did you get the product out? Because I was squeezing, it would not do anything, and I had to literally take a knife and cut off the top in order to get it, because it would not go into that little lippy applicator that they had. It smells nice, it's nice and thick, I'm sure it works nicely, but that's another design fail. And I don't think it's user error, I think it's a design fail. Or maybe I got one that had dried up, I don't know, because it was awfully thick, really thick. Ugh. Two cute new things they have at the Dollar Tree. And I have been kind of shopping more drugstore and lower price products because I don't know, I'm making a little more money now at my new job because I have more hours and everything, but I don't really need to spend it on makeup and hair care and skin care and things like that because I'm just finding that the drugstore is doing so well with so many things. I don't see the point in wasting my money, and I'm not a fan of Sephora. I mean, they do have some brands there that I like, and including their own home brand, but I'm really opting more for drugstore and lower price products, either from Amazon or for other brands. This is the Froyo Lip Balm, and they come in different flavors. There's vanilla and chocolate, and Froyo was a yogurt, frozen yogurt company in America. I don't know if are they still in business? Because we don't have any around me anymore. But this is the from LA Colors. This is the Froyo Lip Balm. It's so easy to throw this in your purse and put it on your lips. It's a lip balm. It's just a basic lip balm. There's no color to it. It's really, and there's a little bit of a slight hint of a flavor to it, but not enough that it's going to overpower or anything like that. But I just thought that was cute. And they also have a lip scrub. Comes in this little honey pot container. It's a lip sugar scrub, works really nicely. Most lip sugar scrubs do. What an adorable little container. It is a screw cap, even though it looks like you would pull it off. And it's got a nice, it really feels like a sugar and honey scrub for your lips. And this is something that's really nice to use to rejuvenate your lips. I usually do this at night, and then I will put the lip mask over the top of it after I've rinsed it off. So I think it's a really cute idea, and that is from the Dollar Tree. So Dollar Tree has been doing okay. This is new, the Iona or Ioni. This is their new collection they have, and it's usually on an end cap in the makeup division there. This is a illuminizer for your skin. You shake it up, and there's not a lot of product in here, but you can pour this on if you're going out for the evening. It's a very, very nice glowy look. It doesn't add color, it's just a slight glow. Your skin just looks hydrated with it. It doesn't look, it's got a slight scent to it, but not much. But it is a really clever little product. But it's the Ioni Body Glow. And it doesn't give you a tan, it doesn't give you any color, it just gives you a little bit of a shimmer. And it doesn't have the glitter in it, so I like that, if it doesn't have the glitter, and it's just a shimmery formulation. I am enjoying the new e.l.f. lip balm, which, you know, took the place of the Naturum in my routine. So it has a similar applicator on it, but this one comes out quite easily from the container. These have a slight bit of color pigment to them, and I like this. This one I think is the strawberry shortcake one. They have them in different flavors. I don't know if they're fairly new or not. They're new to me, and I really like them just to throw in the purse to have. It's always good to have a lip balm, especially, you know, in the summertime when you're out and about. For sunscreen, I rediscovered the Australian Gold, and this is the Botanical 50 Tinted, and this is kind of the lighter shade, the white girl shade. This comes, I think, in 4 shades now, which they didn't have before. They used to have just one kind of universal shade. This one is a little bit lighter. Then they have a medium tone, and they have medium dark, and then they have a dark tone. So they are getting better with inclusiveness. I like this, and it's an SPF 50. It does work well under your makeup, which is good. I think a lot of these sunscreens, a lot of people don't like to use them because when they put their makeup on, over the top of them, they're makeup pills. And one way you can avoid that with a lot of them is to make sure that it's dried in, like half an hour. You know, I use this as part of my skincare routine. It's kind of at the end of my skincare routine. I put the sunscreen on, and it covers a little bit. It is lighter than a skin tint. You can't use this as a foundation. I would never use this as a foundation, but you can use this as an undercoating, so to speak. I'll put this on after all my skincare stuff and my moisturizer. I'll put this on, and then I'll go like check, you know, YouTube videos. I'll have a cup of coffee. I usually about a half an hour, 20 minutes to a half an hour, and then I'll sit down at my makeup area and start my makeup. But I don't go straight from this into my makeup. I think it's a bad move because your sunscreen really needs to sink into your skin to be functional as a sunscreen. And I think that this one is one of the better ones. It's inexpensive, and this is the Australian Gold, the Botanical 50 it's called. I don't often talk about skincare and stuff because it's so personal, you know. Now this is something interesting I found in one of those stores. I think initially this was the Walmart version of something popular, but it's a plastic backed puff. And what you do is you put your toner or whatever on this side, and you have like a plastic lip to hold it with, to rub it on, and it keeps it from disintegrating. It keeps it from you know, falling apart, and you can keep a good grip on it and use more of the surface area rather than having to hold some of it and pinching it. So I think this works really nicely. I think these have been discontinued, but I'm not sure. These are the Equate brand, and I got them at one of those like train wreck stores, like Ocean State Job Lot, Big Lots kind of place. For eye primer, I have been enjoying these, and I actually have been extending them out to kind of mini concealers as well. These are the LA Girl Pro color correctors. Now there's a light ivory one, and then there's a pale pink one, and I use them as an eye primer. I put just a little bit, and a little goes a long way, as an eye primer underneath and over the top of my eyes, and I pat them in really well so they dry up. I also use them on blemishes and on redness on my chin and around my nose, and they work really well. They're kind of a nice all-purpose product, and I hadn't really thought to use them as an eye primer before, but the Juvia's Place, or Juvia's Place, however you pronounce it, theirs reminded me of these. Their actual eye primer reminded me of these, so I thought that I would try these as an eye primer, and they work better than any eye primer I've ever used. They dry down, they're very thin, they dry down, they cover a lot of veins and discolorations that I have in my eyes, and I'm sure you may have in yours. If you're over 40 or 50, you may have some discoloration on your eyelids. This works really well, and they're very inexpensive. I think I picked mine up at Five Below. I think they were $2.50. Definitely well worth it. The pale pink and the light ivory are the two colors I use. They have so many colors in this range, no matter what your skin tone. If you're much deeper toned than I am, you'll find a shade that will work for you. So these were a great find, and it was a great way to use them as an eye primer. For foundation, I've been using the e.l.f. This is the Soft Glam, and I'm also still using my Emco Beauty. This is the one that's kind of like the L'Oreal Serum Foundation, and that was kind of like an imitation of the was it Estee Lauder skin tint that they had. That was a similar bottle, and I think that's what L'Oreal was duping. So this is duping the L'Oreal, which is duping the Estee Lauder. And I think this does a pretty good job. The color I have is slightly deep for me, but I do like this. And MCO Beauty, you can go to their website and purchase things from them directly. I'm not sure, I think they have a US warehouse. I'm not sure how all this tariff stuff is going to affect things like this. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. And yes, I have talked about them before, but unlike a lot of other YouTubers, I use things after I've talked about them, I'll still use them. I like them. So you can trust my reviews that I am really enjoying something if I bring it back again a few months later. And this is another one of those items. This is the Glimmer Concealer from CoverGirl. The Glimmer Concealer, this works so well. I mean, it's very, very brightening under the eye. I have 67-year-old eyes. I have a lot of darkness right in here and in here and on the edges. And this really holds up nicely. I do put a little teeny bit of powder on this to set it, but it is a wonderful concealer. For the drugstore, I think they did a fabulous job with these, and there's a good shade range in this Glimmer line. And I had thought when I first heard it was called Glimmer, I thought, I don't want anything with glitter in it. It doesn't. It doesn't have glitter in it at all. And speaking of powder, I was terrified because a lot of companies are changing out their formulations and taking talc out of their products. I explained it in last month's thing. I'm not going to go over it, but I was so scared they would discontinue making. This is my favorite powder. This is CoverGirl's Simply Ageless Instant Wrinkle Blurring Press Powder, shade 210. I went out and got some new ones. 210 and 225 and 215 are the three shade ranges I like to go through throughout the year. In the summer, if I have a little more color on my face, I'll go to 225. It also is really nice for setting over the bronzer area. So I have backups, and I'm not a backup kind of person, but in this scenario right now with you know, people stopping putting talc in their products, as well as all the tariff business, I think a lot of makeup that we know and love is either not going to be available anymore, or it's going to be changed and we're not going to like the new version. I hate to be a doomsdayer, but anyway, I've got my backups to my favorite powder. I did have a disaster with this powder. This is the W7 Pink Blur Powder. I don't know what they did. I thought I got one of these at Christmas time and liked it, but I absolutely hate this. It just showed every single pore on my face. I have a lot of pores here, a lot of pores up here, and then some at the side of my nose. And this pink blur powder from W7 just absolutely grabbed hold of every single edge of every single piece of texture on my face and just said, hello, here it is. It was like somebody took chalk and wrote over my face with it. Really awful, terrible, terrible product. Oh my gosh. I did try something new in the line of contour and bronzing, and this one is one of those lifter sticks from Maybelline. I think this is shade 35, and I've seen people use all kinds of different numbers up to 45 if they're a light white girl, and I find that this 35 works best for me. It's contouring without being too dark and muddy, and it gives me that nice little bit of optical illusion that I need. The 35 shade in this is nice. You can use lighter shades for sculpting, like you can use like the shade 10, I think, or 12 for like highlighting or making something lighter, sculpting out the top of your brows or whatever. I would not use this as foundation or as concealer. I don't think it's the right consistency for that, but it is working really nicely as a contour cream. So I like this, and it's shade 35 from Maybelline. Going into bronzer, I went back to an old favorite. This is Sunset Striptease from Wet n Wild. This is a great powder bronzer that just kind of warms up the skin really nicely. There's a little bit of a shine to it. And then this one I hadn't tried before, from the Dollar Tree. This is the La Mercier. La Mercier? Really? Really difficult to open this container though. I had to use a knife. You really have to dig in there to try to open this. It's one of the most difficult things I've ever had to open, but this works nicely too. For $1.25, this one is not bad. So, and this one comes in a couple of different colors, and it is shade Sunlight Bronzer. Sunlight Bronzer from the Dollar Tree. This I really like. This is from the Ione line, and this is a lot of packaging for a little item, but this is the Cream Stick Blush. And I thought this did a bang-up job, and it lasted quite a while. You can screw it up, and it gives you just a little bit of cream color, and it lasted pretty well. A lot of these cream colors disappear on my skin. I don't know if it absorbs them because I have so much texture and old age and everything. I don't know, but this stayed on pretty well. And I thought it was a great little product. And again, this is on that end cap of products from Ione Beauty over at the Dollar Tree. So this I did like a lot. I might go and get the other shade. This shade is Vermilion Bird. Vermilion Bird. And it's a really nice kind of pinky, corally shade. It's a perfect shade for summer. In TJ Maxx, starting to see some interesting makeup, and I never thought I'd see this one so soon, but this is the Euphoric Rush from Morphe. These are those cream spiral blushes that went quite viral, I would think 4 or 5 months ago maybe. So this one has already landed in the TJ Maxx for $5.99. Yeah, $5.99. And this is the Staying Neutral shade, which is very nice. This is kind of a natural flush that looks like a natural sun-kissed look on your skin. This is the one that has the spiral cream in it. I was really surprised. I don't know if it's just this color that they released to the TJ Maxx, or if the whole line of these are being discontinued. I don't know, but that was kind of an interesting find. I felt, wow, this is nice. I think originally they were around $13 or $14, weren't they? Also at TJ Maxx, I was very surprised to see these. And these are from Thrive Cosmetics, C-A-U-S-E, Medics. And Thrive Cosmetics is a brand that was formed when the lady she worked at Sephora, and her friend had cancer and was going through chemo treatment, was losing her hair, and her skin was going sallow, and she created the Thrive Cosmetics, the tubing mascara, to help with her, dwindling lashes. And she also developed a makeup line for people going through chemotherapy or through other medical issues. They also do a lot of donation and give back to the community. So I was very surprised to see several of their products in the TJ Maxx. Now these were still somewhat expensive at $13, but this blush was really nice. And this particular blush, again, looking a lot like a natural sun glaze. This one is called Taffy, and this is a really pretty natural sun-kissed look. So if you see that in, I really like this from Thrive Cosmetics. These last really well. I mean, unlike the ones from Dollar Tree or the CoverGirl ones, I think these last really well. Now this one reminds me a little bit of the Milani Luminoso, a cross between that and maybe one of the NARS blushes. It's a corally shimmer shade, and let me just put this right here. As you can see, is a little bit of a shimmer to it, and really, really pretty. Again, $12.99 at the TJ Maxx store. So the Thrive Cosmetics there, and I did see they had eyeliners and lip liners as well. So I don't know if they're maybe repackaging or maybe changing up some of their shades at Thrive, but I felt truly blessed to get those because they are far more expensive than that. All right, moving into, I wanted to mention, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. I watch other YouTubers, but I also watch these ones where it says like, mistakes mature women make that make them look old, and it's some AI voice mispronouncing words, running the words together weird, and saying these strange things about hairstyles or makeup. And I don't know how you feel, but I can't stand AI videos. I can't stand them. And I know somebody writes a script initially, but I think a lot of these scripts are written not in English, but they're translated in English, and they use different voices. There's an English person's voice, there's a woman's voice, and there are a lot of them that pretend to be female creators. There's a picture of a woman there, and it says, Anna, fashion or something, and she's like, hi, I'm Anna, and this is, and I'm thinking, no, you're a robot. You're not even real. And some of the hints and tricks and tips are actually useful, but some of them are way off, like kilter, or they're showing the wrong hairstyle when they're talking about like a long bob and they're showing a short shag, that sort of thing. So I just absolutely, I don't know how you feel about it, but I can't stand these AI videos. Between that and the ads, at least with all the tariffs and things like that, we don't have to watch those Temu ads anymore, or some of those other inexpensive product ads, a lot of them. And the other one is the Christmas jingle stuff, the little dog, the little puppy. They show pictures of a real dog mixed in with pictures of these toy dogs, and then they've got this Christmas music playing. I'm like, do they think we have to order all our Christmas stuff now before the tariffs hit? Is that why they're doing this? I don't know. And those mahjong things where they're, they're going, oh, blah, 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 good, blah, 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 and they're hitting all these little, like, things and matching things, mahjong, I recommend. And they've got some doctor in the corner with his mouth moving different than what's being said. Again, AI. But this past year I haven't been able to get onto Facebook, and it's just a little reminder that I was hacked last May. It's been 1 year now since I was hacked, completely hacked. I mean, they got into, I still can't get into Facebook, I can't get into Instagram, I can't get on X, and my YouTube channel, I have no access to my YouTube channel. So this is my second channel. This is a replacement channel. I'm starting from scratch because YouTube has not communicated back with me. And I know some of you who watch a lot are probably tired of hearing that, but it was devastating to me. They got into my desktop computer and made ransomware files. And so I'm not connected at all. I have no internet at my house. The only reason I have this channel is because I'm going through other people's computers. And that's why it takes me a long time to answer your comments or, to get online. I am not online at all at my house. Go figure. Isn't that weird? Now I have a phone, but I have no email on it. I don't, do anything. I'll make emergency calls with it. I will watch YouTube videos on my phone, and that's how I watch YouTube videos on my little phone. It's been pretty eye-opening, actually, how dependent you are on your phone and technology. And then when you lose it all, you see things in a whole different way. So in my channel, this channel is not monetized, so I'm not getting any commissions, I'm not getting PR, I'm not getting free products, I'm not getting anything. I'm really just talking about stuff I like or don't like, so you can actually trust what I'm saying because there's nothing in it for me. I pay my own money for these products, and they're my true, honest opinions on how these products work for me or don't work for me. So, okay, this I thought was a great idea. It reminded me of something we had in the 70s during disco. This is a multi-shade lipstick, and you can unscrew. Each one is a different color, There's a red, there's a dark maroon. This would be nice, you know, to take if you're going out somewhere. I didn't really care. They were kind of matte looking and kind of bright. And the top one is the pink. Top one's the pink. But you can actually even clip this onto your shirt or clip it inside your suitcase. But I thought, what a cute idea. The colors are just not appropriate for me. They're very bright or too dark. That dark one is too dark for me, but the other ones are a little bright, and the light one just doesn't work for me, but I thought it was a great idea. Going into eyeshadow, I do want to mention this. In JCPenney, we know that JCPenney used to be partnered with Sephora, and Sephora used to have little mini stores inside of JCPenney. Well, they cut their ties with JCPenney and they moved out. So in their place, a third-party kind of a kiosk took over a corner of each of the JCPenney's, and in the corner they had several different makeup companies. They had Lunar Beauty, the one from Maddie MUA, and they had this one, Prados Beauty, which is a Native American owned makeup company, which I bought these two eye palettes from them, not realizing that the company that owned them, not JCPenney, but the company that owned the kiosks that sold the makeup, never paid these people for the makeup that was sold. Now JCPenney took the money in, took their cut, and then gave the third-party kiosk their portion of the money. And then that third-party kiosk was supposed to pay the people who gave the makeup. And they never did. They kept their cut, and they kept the cut of all the makeup companies in there. So rather than buying your makeup in JCPenney from the kiosk, I totally recommend you go to the websites of some of these companies and buy directly from them, because they were cheated. And I especially am heartbroken over it because I love this company, Prados Beauty, and it's heartbreaking to know that they never got the money for these two eye palettes that I purchased. This is something that wound up in, and I'm seeing a lot from this brand, Kimchi. I'm seeing a lot from them in the TJ Maxx. This is a pretty interesting little eye palette. And if you can see the colors here, you've got a mirror, and then you've got this. And it's kind of neat, you know. They have, this is a good neutral sort of palette. I'd say the pigment is not bad. The quality, maybe not, you know, super high-end quality, but I think it's better than the usual Color Story kind of stuff or the Five Below makeup. It's better than the Five Below makeup. Okay, we'll put it that way. It's not Natasha Denona quality, but I like this assortment. It was very inexpensive, and this one was $4.99 for this eye palette, and they had a really nice assortment of shades and really cute packaging. This is For World. This is an eye palette off of Amazon. I thought I would get a nice nude palette. I'm looking for the perfect inexpensive nude palette. This was not it, but it has shimmers and mattes, and it arrived busted, so I tried to repair it and it got messed up. Do Color company, Do Color, and it's out of China. So it's okay. It's not the best. They were trying to obviously imitate either ColourPop or Huda Beauty. They did not succeed, but some of the shades are good. The matte shades not so much, but some of the shimmer shades aren't bad. That's not the cheap pearl in there. So I mean, at least that's, you know, good about it. Also in the TJ Maxx, I'm seeing a lot of these Milani gilded palettes. The gilded mattes and gilded nudes. This is the Most Loved mattes. These were, I think, $7.99, and the Most Loved nudes, which kind of an unusual gilded nudes, kind of an unusual assortment, but these were in the TJ Maxx also, and I appreciated them when they were in the regular stores. I thought they were pretty good, and I had them all then, so, you know, it's been a while. I'd gotten rid of the ones I had, and there they were, and I thought, oh, gee, that's like an old one. And I did pick up the Morphe 350. I thought it was, you know, it had a nice assortment. Again, I'm looking for those good nudes. There's an awful lot of colors in here. Surprisingly not as pigmented as I wanted them to be, but there's some real doable colors in here, and there are some shimmers in here, again with not, there's a cheap pearl that has micro glitter in it, and that's not what is in here. These are shimmery with a more expensive pearl in the shimmer shade. So I'd say that this was actually pretty good. This is the 350 palette, the 350. And I do like that. These were on sale at Target. These are the e.l.f. shadow sticks. This one is in pearl. It seemed a little dried out. It didn't seem to give me a whole lot of pigment. And then this one is in Thrift Shop. And I actually bought that for the name, but I like the idea that it's kind of a mid-tone, so you can put it kind of, you know, just above the crease. And blend that in. It's really not bad. So I do like the thrift store one, not so keen on the pearl, but they were on sale for like $2.38 or some unusually low amount. I don't know if they're discontinuing these shadow sticks or reformulating, or these are older. I don't know. So just thought I'd let you know they were there in the clearance rack at Target. It's always good to look in there because they have a lot of stuff there. Unfortunately, I returned some makeup there once and I saw it there in the clearance rack. They were reselling it and I had used it. What's so funny is I picked it up because I almost bought it again. I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I brought this back. I'm really enjoying this L'Oreal faux brow thing, you know, with the little Batman duo prongs on it. It makes a really nice natural thing. I think it's a little dark, and I had gone online. Amazon has one that's very similar. One side is single, very, very thin single to do eyeliner with, and one is eyebrows. And I think it works really, really well. The same way that the other thing did. The color's a little bit lighter. So I thought that these were, I like that new option with the two prongs because you can make hairs and go back and fill it in. And it's a really nice product. So I do recommend the L'Oreal one. If you do go on Amazon, this one is kind of nice. And this is the Levone. And that is the brow pen with the duo prongies. Nude sticks, I keep seeing these at the TJ Maxx. Do they not make these anymore? These are it's a little box. It has a sharpener in it for these extra wide pencils, which is very convenient. And you get the 3 colors. They're all neutral. I thought I saw these at Christmas time in the Ulta store. But you get 3 fairly neutral colors. One I didn't care for. It was a deeper brown shade. I think that was this one. I didn't care for this shade on me. But it's a liner and it's a lipstick. And then you've got a sharpener there. But there's 3 colors. And I see this in every TJ Maxx I've been in. So I think they are quite prominent. They must have sent them all to TJ Maxx, but those are your 3 colors. You've got kind of a pinky, kind of an orange coral, and then you've got kind of a darker tan color. And you get the little metal box, which I'm sure you can use a pill box or something. And they come in this box. this was $14.99 for the 3. And I think initially they were $25 for the set at Christmas time, so it's a $10 savings, pretty good. Also at TJ Maxx, they have a ton of lipsticks. They have NARS and Bare Minerals, and this is Bare Minerals. This one is The shade is awfully pretty. I believe this is called Grace, and I'm just going to show you that shade. Actually, I'll put that on. Let me just take what I have on off. This is Grace. It's a soft matte. Very, very nice, natural looking, good for work, especially if you're in a conservative office like moi. Really, really pretty, from Bare Minerals. It's called Grace. And I saw that at the TJ Maxx. It's very inexpensive. Bare Minerals, really good job on that. Now for NARS, they have a lot of these available, these pump-up sticks. This one is called Breathless. I'll just put it over the top. I don't think these were a successful launch, but I like them. They're kind of almost like a lip topper, and I thought they did a good job with them. But they don't last as long, but they feel good on the lips, and there's a nice assortment of colors that they are doing. Maybe they are reformulating, I don't know, but this is Breathless from NARS. So these two from Laura Geller, these are tinted lip oils, and they're awfully pleasant. I have two shades. I'll just show you. The first shade is here. My camera turned off, so I started to put this shade on. And I'm like, wait a minute, my camera's off. And this is the other shade. This is Finish Line here. And then this shade is called Crunch Time. So that's what these two shades look like. They are tinted lip oils from Laura Geller. And they're awfully pleasant. They're really nice. I don't know why she's getting rid of them, but I really like them. I think they work nicely. These came out in the Dollar Tree, and they are duo-ended lip pencils. And I think they're great. One's kind of like a pink and tan, and one is kind of an orangey coral and kind of a peachy coral. They're $1.25 each. They come in a package like this, so I like them. I think they're not so creamy that they blend out and don't allow your lipstick, you know, some hold to keep it inside the lips. And they're pretty colors, and they're easy to sharpen. The sharpener comes with them on one end, and I love the fact that they're duo-ended, like You Know Who just came out with. And I heard her formula is different on those than her previous formula, and they are made somewhere else now. So the Charlotte Tilbury stuff, I think, is losing its power. Is that the right word? Yeah, I think she's fighting for her life. I really do. I think with all this aggressive stuff that Charlotte Tilbury's doing, I think she's scared. Her company is threatened by all these people duplicating her her products. And I'd be angry too, actually, if you look at it from a perspective of a business person. If you've created something over the course of 10 years, and then some, you know, whippersnapper comes with their own little factory and makes a cheap version of it. It's not quite the same as yours, but it's cheap enough that it's gathered a bigger crowd than your original product. I can only imagine the frustration there. So I'm not going to dig too hard on her. I'm not sure I care for the method in which she's going about defending her company. But Charlotte Tilbury used to have really good products, and now I think with this new change, they're making the lip liners somewhere else. They are not the same quality. Those double-ended lip liners are not the same quality. They don't withstand, like her old lip liners, the lip cheats, you put them on and they stay put. They're really good. They're worth the extra money to buy. These new ones, when you put them on, they don't last. So they're made differently, just so you know. This was kind of interesting from the Be Pure company. This is a cheek and lip product. I didn't like it on the cheek because it feels too greasy, but I love it on the lips. It's a really pretty lip product, and it goes on nicely. It stays quite well. I just didn't like it on the cheek. I wouldn't put it on the cheek, but as a lip product, I think it looks really nice. This particular color is called Soft Coral, and it comes from the Dollar Tree for $1.25 from the Be Pure company. Almost done with the with the lip products. There were a lot this month. I don't know why. You know, it's like these are the heart-shaped Ione. Again, you know, a specialty line at the Dollar Tree. These actually had quite a bit of pigment in them for being this kind of gel formula. I had a reaction to this like I get with a lot of the LA Color lip products. So it didn't work for me, but it did go like a dark pink on me. But it is a pretty color if you don't have reactions to some of the stuff that's in these Ione lipsticks. This one is really pretty. This is a Korean lip oil that they're selling in TJ Maxx again. This one comes out a very powerful, deeper color, heading towards the warm red shade, and it doesn't look like that in the container. This shade looks, it's shade number 10, which is the lightest shade they had, but it's still quite dark on the lips, and it does make your lips stained, kind of a reddish color. And these were, I think, $3.99, no, $6.99 at TJ Maxx. It's a Korean brand, and really, really high quality. I just couldn't find the color I liked. They're really nice, pretty lip glossy type of thing. Buxom is in TJ Maxx also. I made the mistake of getting this particular shade, which wasn't very good. This is called Catching Rays. It's a very bright, light color. I was a little surprised at how bright it was. Almost a neon light peach color on me, and I could blend it in a little bit, but it really went into the lines. It didn't do anything for me, so I was disappointed in this as a product from Buxom, because I do like their White Russian plumping gloss, but this is a different product, and I didn't care for this at all, and I thought I would love it, but it comes out way too neon, and it's got that sting. Of course, you know, they have the sting. Last lip product is from Kimchi. And again, you know, it looked like it was going to be a pretty pale color, but it's way too pale. It's like a concealer lips kind of color. When it's on, it just goes way too, like you're 16 years old. Pale, pale, pale peach, almost neon color. It had a nice scent to it. It's called Hot. Hot is the name of the product, and this color is 14, but it's just way too neon hot light peach for me. I would have loved this when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, but not as a 67-year-old. This is just a bit much. Just a bit much. Okay, we're moving out of the lip products into hair products. I thought, oh, isn't this nice? They've got these at the Dollar Tree. These are hair root touch-ups. And before I went to a meeting, and I thought, oh, you know what? Because I took a shower, and my scalp always goes bright pink after a shower. So I took some of this and I sprayed it on. Let me just show you what it looks like. It is an orangey. Oh, that didn't look great. Look at a dirty picture. It goes in orangey yellow color on your scalp, and it's so obvious. It's so awful. It's like spray paint. I mean, you could spray paint, you know, on the train tracks with this one. So this was really, really bad if you're a blonde. Maybe if you have deeper color hair, black hair, this would work nicely, but man, as a blonde, this was an orangey. It looked like rust. It looked like my scalp was all rusted. So really a bad thing. From the Dollar Tree, a mistake. Definitely a mistake. I really love this cuticle oil balm. This is new at the Dollar Tree. It's a cuticle oil balm, and what you do, and I've been trying to give my nails a little bit of rest because they really have been getting, from wearing fake nails and everything else. You basically draw around your nail, work it into your cuticle, and it's so easy and convenient to use, and it really does improve your nail beds so much. I love it, and I love that you can just, you know, screw it up when you're getting down on it. It's a stick form. What a wonderful thing, rather than taking a liquid version with you, especially if you're traveling or in the car. This is wonderful because it stays solid, and you just draw around your nail, work it into your nail bed, and that's it. This was a tremendously wonderful product at the Dollar Tree. So it is a cuticle oil balm, it's called. So I definitely recommend this. This was a great find for $1.25. This I didn't like. This was from Be Pure. This is a watercolor effect nail polish, and what you do is you paint stripes and dots and circles on your nails randomly, and they look like a watercolor painting. They look like a hot mess. Just so you know, the watercolor nail polish, no, it was awful, awful. Last product I'm going to talk about is for the hair, and this is called the Striking Viking off of Amazon. These are hair fibers, and what you do with those, let me just put them here. They go in your scalp, and you work them into your scalp, and they blend in, and they look like hair. So your hair looks fuller, thicker, and these are only, I believe these are only about $8. And this Topic, which has less product in it, it's the same thing, really. This Topic is $25 or $30 for this tiny little jar, and then this is about $8 for this big one, and I really like it. I got the blonde shade for my hair, and it works nicely on my scalp. Like I said, when I take a shower and I wash my hair and everything, it's pink. My scalp is pink, and then from using the blow dryer and all that other stuff. So I want to make sure that, because my scalp really shows through, my hair is getting thinner, and it's just nice. This is a really good product. So it's called Striking Viking. I totally recommend it, from the Amazon website. So, woo, okay, that's May. May. All right, I am working on a couple of projects. I picked up on my Native American project, and I'm filling in the last of it. Now, there have been some changes in some of the things that I'm working on because Leonard Peltier was pardoned. We have a new administration who probably will not be sensitive to the idea of Native American reservations and land rights and water rights, things like that. But I'm working on still finishing up the boarding school one. I'd like to get that out. I know that it's been over 3 years now since I started the project, and I have a lot of footage and things that probably got me in trouble on my desktop computer, because I went to weird websites to get images of people getting hurt, and I think that might have put me in danger on my desktop. So anyway, so that's all I have for you. I hope all of you are doing okay. I really enjoy doing these videos, and I want to keep doing them. I don't get money for them. I don't ever ask you for money, and I will never send you an email asking you for money. So if you think you've received an email from me, I did not send it. I have no emails with my own name on them, and I am really laying low online. I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on Facebook, I am not on X. So just so you know. And I think that I'm just being very cautious because my whole world was devastated over the past year. So anyway, on that cheerful note, I will be back with you actually fairly soon with my next video. So take care, everybody. Keep cool. Stay dry. Take care. Toodles.